Rockstar wants money to play a much bigger role in the story than it ever did in previous GTA games. This shift feels less like a total reinvention and more like the natural evolution of seeds planted back in GTA 5. Sure, money was a motivator for Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, but that story leaned heavily on character dynamics and comedy. In GTA 6, Rockstar is tying Jason and Lucia's journey directly to cash flow. That means the main story missions will sometimes require you to gather a certain amount of capital before you can keep moving forward. So money stops being just something you spend and becomes a literal gate that unlocks progress. This design choice seems built to push players to spend more time in the world and explore the different layers of its criminal economy. The main ways to make money include stealing and selling cars, extorting or robbing businesses, robbing stores, and pulling off bank heists. These four pillars appear to form the entire economic backbone of GTA 6. There's a natural progression curve here, starting with small-time car theft and eventually climbing up to organized crime-level bank heists. That gives players a chance to start with low-risk, low-reward jobs early on, and gradually work their way up to bigger and more dangerous scores as they progress. You'll be able to approach heist targets solo as either Jason or Lucia, or the two of you can hit them together as a duo. This option isn't just there for gameplay variety, it also plays a critical role in the storytelling. Pulling off a job together actually helps develop the relationship between the two characters. So the Bonnie and Clyde style bond between Jason and Lucia isn't just told to you through cutscenes, it's shaped directly by the player's choices. Successfully completing a heist together seems likely to build trust between them, which will probably show up later in dialogue, or even branching story moments. Balancing greed against speed has become a major factor, since jobs can be pulled off in different ways. Blowing a safe open with explosives is faster, but it'll damage whatever loot is inside. In other words, the fast and loud approach lowers the value of your score. On the other hand, if you spend a bit more time snooping around the business looking for the safe's actual code, you'll walk away with a lot more money, but you're also risking the cops showing up in the middle of the job. This risk versus reward balance feels more clearly defined here than anywhere else in the series so far. Every heist essentially becomes its own decision tree, shaped entirely by how the player wants to play. Cops can actually gather outside a store or bank and just wait for you to walk out. That detail alone says a lot about how much attention Rockstar is putting into the AI and police systems this time around. The police aren't just reacting to an alarm anymore, they can set up an ambush and wait you out. Thankfully, a lot of heist locations offer alternative escape routes like back doors, so players who scout ahead and spot a police barricade forming can change their plan on the fly. That makes pre-heist recon far more valuable than it ever was in previous games. Just like in Red Dead Redemption 2, stolen goods need to be sold to a fence. The game features fences for jewelry and similar items, as well as separate fences specifically for stolen cars. This system takes GTA 5's fairly simple drive the car to Los Santos customs loop and turns it into a much deeper criminal network. The relationship you build with these fences will probably evolve over time, with more trusted players likely unlocking better prices and more exclusive opportunities, which tracks with how these systems usually work. A fence looking for cars might also hand you valuable information, like the code to a police impound lot full of vehicles ready to be stolen and turned into cash. This encourages players to actively engage with fences and follow up on their tips, rather than just waiting around for random car theft opportunities to appear. It turns the open world into something closer to an information and trust economy, not just a pool of cars sitting around for the taking. That said, hopping into the driver's seat of a stolen car won't be as simple as it used to be in past GTA games. Vehicles are now sorted by a tier system, and breaking into the more expensive models is a much tougher job. This makes it clear that the days of just walking up to any car in GTA 5 and hopping in are over. Every vehicle now comes with its own security level, and players need the right tool to match it. When you spot a parked car you've got your eye on, the first thing you'll want to do is scan it using the new WAINK phone app. Yes, that's really what it's called. This app tells you how much the car is worth, how much it would cost to register it as your personal vehicle, whether it's locked or alarmed, and whether it has a tracker on it. That single feature alone shows how GTA 6 is turning car theft from a simple action beat into a small planning-based minigame. Instead of jumping into any random car, you'll be pulling out your phone to check if it's actually worth the trouble first. Different vehicle tiers and types require different tools to break into. Older, less secure cars might only need a simple, slim gem, while modern, high-end vehicles will require a technologically advanced key duplicator. Since these tools aren't available until later in the story, some vehicles simply won't be accessible early on. That creates a natural progression system, where players unlock both better tools and access to more valuable cars as they push through the story. That said, any vehicle with someone sitting in the driver's seat can still be jacked using the classic carjacking method you remember from earlier GTA games. So the series isn't abandoning that iconic mechanic, it's just folding it into a much more layered system. Do you go for a fast and dangerous carjacking, or do you play it patient and pull off a planned theft instead? That choice is entirely up to the player. Any car you steal will sell for less if you hand it over to the fence damaged. Delivering a car in pristine condition is going to be a lot harder this time, thanks to GTA 6's narrower streets and heavier traffic, both of which were designed with increased realism in mind. This detail shows just how tightly the map design and the economy system are tied together. Vice City and the state of Leonida's tight streets aren't just there for visual variety, they directly affect how the game's mechanics play out. Some vehicles will also come equipped with advanced trackers that alert the police to your location if you drive too slowly. In other words, you'll either need to speed up or abandon the car altogether. This mechanic turns stealing luxury and high-value vehicles into a deliberate risk. Finding a valuable car won't mean the job is done the moment you drive off, because if the tracker is active, the cops could be on you within seconds. Put all of these details together, and it becomes clear that Rockstar is aiming to make GTA 6's money and crime economy far more layered, riskier, and more rewarding than anything the series has done before. Instead of a simple steal and sell loop, Rockstar seems to want players planning ahead, taking real risks, and living with the consequences. Of course, most of this is still in leak and rumor territory and hasn't been officially confirmed by Rockstar. But if most of these details turn out to be true, GTA 6's economy could end up being the deepest and most grounded system the series has ever had.